Hi everybody, it's me, Kay. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Notice anything different? Today I'm shooting in black and white. Ooh, because I'm going to tell you about some of the scary things that happened to me while I was growing up in my mom and dad's haunted house. No joke, these are true live stories. Believe them or not, it's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this first story happened when I was younger. Well, not really. I mean, yeah, the first time it happened, I was younger. It happened 3 different times. The first time it happened, it was in the dining room. So I was walking by the dining room and just walking down the hall, looked in the dining room, and there was a boy sitting at the dining room table, and he was sitting, he had his hands like this, and he was looking down like he was reading, and he was all white. So we called him the white boy. But I walked by and I glanced over and I saw him sitting there, and I saw him, for a second or two, and I looked away and I looked back and he was gone. So the second time it happened, my mom was in her bedroom and she saw him standing, she was in the bed and she looked up and there he was standing there, the white boy, as we call him. Just standing there for a second or two, and she looked away, just how you look away for a second, like what the heck, and he was gone. Third time it happened, I was walking into the kitchen. He was leaned up against the sink. He had his leg propped up against the sink, and I saw him from his feet up to his head, and he was just staring, and I was like, ah, and looked, it's like you always look away for some reason. I don't know if it's just because you get scared or you're like, what the heck? But I look back, he was gone. Pretty scary, true story. Let's see. Now I'm going to tell you what happened to my mom. Okay, my mom was home alone, and they had a little dog. Her name was Fancy. Miss you, Fancy. But anyway, she always followed my mom everywhere she went. So my mom was in the bathroom and she was sitting on the toilet, and Fancy was in there with her because Fancy followed her everywhere she went. She was laying on the floor, and all of a sudden Fancy got up and started barking and scratching at the door, and Mommy, she didn't think nothing about it. So all of a sudden Mommy looked down, and she said there was smoke coming like up from the floor, from all around the toilet, and she was just sitting there like, ooh, the house is on fire. And then all of a sudden it just like crept up, but it didn't smell like smoke, it was more like fog. And she said all of a sudden it went into her eyeballs. She was so scared. When I came home, she was like, hey, I want you to watch me. She told me what happened. She's like, I want you to watch me for a while. If I start acting crazy or weird, let me know. She was so freaked out about that, and it was weird. It was crazy. One of the scariest things that happened to me was, I remember this really good. I wasn't very young. I was probably about 17, and I'd been to school that day. And I was in the bed sleeping, had the covers pulled up because I always like to snuggle my covers up around my neck. And I woke up a little bit and the covers was like down to here. So I pulled it back up. Felt something tug it down, back down to here. I was like, huh, pulled it back up, because I was laying kind of on my back, rolled over. Tugged it back off, down to here. I was like, what the heck? So I rolled over, pulling the cover up. And I had a double, full-size bed, and I always slept with the nightlight on because it was so scary in the house. And when I rolled over, you could see, just like daylight in there because of the nightlight. When I rolled over, oh, that's weird. How strange is that? The light just went off all by itself. Well, anyway, when I rolled over, there was like a fully formed person laying in the bed. It looked like a man's silhouette figure under my cover. I couldn't see its head. It was like the cover was pulled all the way up to its head, over its head. And I could see, you know, the outline of its like waist and its butt and its legs. I could even see it breathing up and down. I laid there for a second or two and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I going to do? That's so strange though, that light just went out. I don't know what happened to it. So I laid there and I was like, holy crap, what the heck is that? I mean, it was a person. It looked just like a person laying there beside of me, breathing. And I couldn't hear it breathing, but I could see its, you know, body going up and down, just like it was breathing. So I slipped the cover off, slid one leg off the bed, and I took off running out of my bedroom. It was not fun, and I ran and I jumped in Mommy's bed. Actually, no, my sister was awake because my sister was always a night owl, and she's like, oh, okay, you're just seeing things. But you know, at this point in time, we were kind of used to all this scary stuff happening. So she come in there, she turned the light on because she wanted to see, and where I had saw that figure laying beside me in the bed was flat and crumpled a little. Weird. I think so. True story. And it freaks me out just talking about these stories. What other story can I tell you? Okay, I do have another story. One day I was at home by myself, and on our house, you know, there's the door, and then we had like a storm door in front. And you can lock the storm door from the inside, and then when you push it to go outside, it unlocks automatically. And you can't lock it from the outside, so you can't lock yourself out. So I was there by myself, and we had a little dog. We had two dogs, Fancy and Fester. And Fester wanted to go for a walk, and so I put his little leash on, and we went for a walk, and got out on the porch, and I heard click. And I was like, what the heck was that? I had an idea what it was, but it was kind of freaky. So I tried to open that door, which can only be locked from the inside. It was locked. So I was like, what am I going to do? Nobody's home. I have no keys to the other doors. So I took Fester for a walk. I had to sit on the porch, me and Fester did, until my mom and dad came home. And the funny thing is I was looking in the door, and you know those storm doors, you can pull down the glass and it has screen, and that's how it was. We were just letting the breeze blow through the house, and it was really hard to push that little lever down to lock it. It was tight. But anyways, when I was looking in the house, you know, just in there, just to see if I could see anything, I smelled alcohol and cigarettes and things like that coming out, and nobody ever drank alcohol at my house or smoked. It was the craziest thing ever. But yeah, I had to sit on the porch and wait for like 2 hours for my mom and dad to come home with the keys to the other doors. They were like, what are you doing sitting out on the porch? I'm like, well, the ghost locked me out. And my entire life from the time we moved in there, that house, until I moved out, the bed was always, it would feel like something was like jiggling the bed. It happened so much I got used to it, you know. I was there, you know, until I graduated college, and it always did it. My bed would always jiggle. It felt like something was jumping, not real hard, but just wiggle, 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 like every night. It was scary at first. I got used to it, but these are actual true stories. I promise. So if you've had any encounters like this, let me know. Leave me some comments, send me an email, and remember to like, subscribe, comment, send me some mail if you've had any experiences like this. I have so many more to share with you. I've got to figure out what happened to this light. This is crazy. Oh, should I not be telling these stories? Some crazy things have been happening here at this house lately. I don't know if you saw the video where the door was moving the other day. It hasn't done it since, but it did it for three mornings. So, and now I'm telling you these stories, and the light just stops working. I don't know. It's crazy. But anyways, you guys, you are so special. Have a beautiful day. I love you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.